Hi! So I had a bit of time over the Christmas holidays to film some YouTube videos and I decided to make up my own tag video. I had this idea a couple months ago but I didn't actually get around to writing the questions until yesterday, and it is going to be the Friends tag. Anyone who knows me will know that I'm a massive fan of Friends. I think most people in my generation are, to be honest, because it was the programme that everyone watched in school and then through uni. It was back when E4 and Channel 4 had it on every single day, and pretty much all of my friends, we all watched every episode, knew all the lines, we were obsessed with it. And I still watch it every day now. It's on Comedy Central and it's kind of like our background music, so if we're just sitting around the living room doing nothing, 9 times out of 10 Friends is on in the background. So when I thought of making up a tag video, this was the first thing that sprung to mind really, because I haven't seen one before, and there maybe is one out there on YouTube somewhere but I haven't found it. So I've come up with 9 questions and I will write them all in the description box, but I'm going to go through each of them now, give you my answers, and then if you are also a fan of Friends and you want to make your own Friends tag video, then please do, and please leave me a link below. So the first question is, what was your favourite Friends series? I struggled so much with this question because there's so many series that I really love, and I've kind of narrowed it down to 2. So I think series 7, which is the one with the holiday armadillo, it's the one where Chandler and Monica get married. I think that's probably one of my absolute favourites. But also a close second is the last series, because I think there were some of like Ross's best episodes were in the last series. Like the one where he had the tan, the one with where he makes the fajitas. It's like, I'm fine. Yeah, I think they totally like upped their game in the last series because it was the last one. So they had like loads of really, really good episodes in one series. So maybe 10 is my favourite, followed by 7. Yeah. The next one is your least favourite series, and for me, it has to be series 4, and that's for one reason, and that is Emily. I hated Emily so much. I think most people disliked Emily because you really wanted Ross and Rachel to be together, and then they brought in Emily and she was just so annoying, and the fact that she was an English actress as well made it even more annoying because they had a British character in it and she was so annoying, making us all like bad Emily. Yeah, that series, I did not enjoy it really. I mean, there are good episodes in it obviously, but yeah, in general she ruined that series for me. I also didn't really like the episodes where they came to London. I know obviously it was their wedding, so I didn't really like it for that, but yeah, I don't know, I just didn't really like it. I think it's one of those things where if it's like, you know, if a TV show that you like, they feature something about where you live. I know I don't live in London, but Britain anyway, and you kind of just, it kind of irks you a bit, just like the stuff that they do, that because obviously they're doing all the stereotypical things. Like whenever a Scottish character features in an American programme, I find it really annoying because yeah, they're always like an over-the-top Scottish person, and I think, you know, they did a lot of like quintessentially British things. I mean, they had Fergie in it, for crying out loud. It was just very OTT, this is what Britain is like. I remember thinking like, this is really annoying, this is not what it's like in the UK. The next one is your favourite couple, and again, this is really hard, and part of me wants to say Ross and Rachel because, you know, essentially the whole 10 series are about Ross and Rachel, and you know, they are the main characters. I know there's 6 characters, but you know, those 2 are the main 2. But I think my favourite couple is Chandler and Monica. When they first got together, I was kind of a bit like, this is a bit of a strange pairing, but I just love them together. I think they are such a sweet couple and they're so different but they work so well together, and yeah, I just loved their whole storyline. Just how they were like sneaking around together for a while and then everyone found out. Can I just say, by the way, I haven't been crying, I just had a massive sneezing fit. I realise it now looks like I'm like, oh, Monica and Chandler, I'm so happy about them that it makes me cry. Yeah, and like the proposal was so nice, and the wedding, and then the whole like struggle for them to have kids, but it was still done in like a way that worked in a comedy, and yeah, I just really love them as a couple. I think Blair and I would be friends with them as a couple if they were real. Least favourite couple, easy, Ross and Emily. No, just should not have happened. I also dislike Ross and Julie. I think basically whenever there's a point in the series where it seems like Ross and Rachel are going to get together or they've been together or whatever, and then another person comes in and starts getting involved, then I really dislike them. So Ross and Julie, because the end of that first series where like she found out that Ross liked her and then she went to the airport to meet him and he was there with fucking Julie, was just so annoying. I just found her irritating for the rest of the time, even though she was probably a perfectly lovely person. Just not even a person, you know what I mean, like a lovely character. get so involved. Then when Emily came in as well, and it was just like, oh, you've got no business being here. I'm trying to think if there was like an example with a guy that I felt the same. But I don't think, no, Rachel, I mean, there was that Mark guy. I don't really have strong feelings against him. I wasn't really too bothered. I think because I knew, it was like, there's nothing happening with those two. It was just Ross, like, in his head thinking that there was something happening. And I suppose, like, there were a lot of people who disliked the whole Joey and Rachel thing. I wasn't really bothered about it. I kind of, at the time, I thought it worked. Like, I kind of wanted them to get together, but then as soon as they did get together, I was like, no, I've had enough of this now. I think you should split up. Next question is your favourite episode, and I actually did a blog post about this last year, because when it was me and Blair's 5-year anniversary, I did like a series of posts on my blog, like, of things in 5. So it was like my 5 favourite beauty products, my 5 favourite holidays, and I did my 5 favourite Friends episodes. That's quite a tongue twister. And in that I mentioned that I first set up a blog like 5-6 years ago now, and the whole point of me setting up this blog was because I wanted to write about my favourite Friends episodes, because I liked making lists, and the first list I thought of was I'm going to list my favourite Friends episodes. But it took me so long to actually like narrow down the episodes that that blog didn't really get off the ground. I wrote like 3 posts on it. None of them were related to Friends, even though the name of the blog was We Were on Break, so it was Friends related. But yeah, I never actually wrote that blog post. So I kind of revived it for my 5 series thing last year, and again I really struggled. I managed to get 5, but then I also mentioned like another 5 that were kind of close contenders. So I had another look at that again to see if I could narrow it down to 1, and it's difficult, but I think my favourite ever episode is the one where no one's ready. And it's one of those, I can't remember what the word for it is, but it's basically where it's like all just set in the one place. And traditionally those were episodes where they'd kind of used the budget up through other episodes in the series, and they had to have one where it was just, they just film in the one place all night. But those ended up being like the best episodes, I think, because you kind of were focused so much on the characters and their interactions and things. This is the one where Ross is like some award ceremony, or he's presenting at something, I can't really remember. That's not really the point of the episode. He's trying to get everyone ready so they can go and get a taxi, and no one is ready, hence the name of the episode. And it's got things like Chandler and Joey fighting over that chair, and then Joey comes in and he's wearing all of Chandler's clothes, and Phoebe gets hummus on her dress and she has to wear this like ridiculous Christmas decoration on the dress. And Rachel and Ross have like a little falling out, and then she decides she's not going to go to the party, and then he almost drinks the fat. And then, oh, and also Monica accidentally leaves an answering phone message on Richard's phone, like an outgoing message. And it's just, the whole episode is just really, really funny. There are quite a few that come quite close, but I think that's probably my absolute favourite. Next question is, which character would you be friends with in real life? And it doesn't have to be one of the 6, it can just be any character in the show, by the way. But I would say Rachel. Rachel is definitely my favourite character. She is the one that I wanted to be when I was younger and I used to watch the show. And I think she's definitely the person that I would be friends with. I would probably be a little bit intimidated by her because Jennifer Aniston is beautiful, but I just think she's really sweet, and she would be a good friend to have. She'd be good to go shopping with as well. I'm sure she would pick me some nice outfits. Next one is, which character would you date? And for this one I've gone outside of the group because I don't think I would date any of them in the group. I would like to be friends with them all, but I wouldn't want to actually go out with them. As much as I love, you know, the whole Ross and Rachel thing, he would be an absolute nightmare as a boyfriend. So the character that I would date, and this goes for the actor as well, is Mike, or Paul Rudd, because I just love Paul Rudd so much. I don't even know why. Like, he's not like the hottest guy out there, but he just seems like such a lovely, lovely man, and I think he's really, really nice looking. And Mike as a character is lovely. He's just like the nice guy, but he's funny, and I just think, yeah, he would do anything for you, and he's lovely. Very jealous of Phoebe. Next question is, what is your funniest moment in the series? And again, that is very difficult because even now I watch episodes I have seen probably 100 times and I still laugh, and I laugh before things happen because I know what's going to happen. I think probably the funniest moment for me is the one where Ross gets tanned, and it's just that whole bit of like him going to get tanned and then accidentally getting it all on one side and then going back again, and I think it's like when he does it the 3rd time and he gets it and again it's all on the one side, and it's just like David Schwimmer's reactions are just hilarious. But I think another close second one is there's that bit where it's revealed that Ross was Monica's first kiss. She's like, you're my first kiss. No, you were my midnight mystery kisser. And then he's like, you're my first kiss with Rachel? And she goes, you're my first kiss ever? Yeah, it's just really funny. It's just one of those ones that keeps like building and building, and it's really, really funny. There's another quite similar bit to that in an episode where, is it when they're like, maybe it's not in that episode, but I think they're like revealing each other's secrets, like Monica and Ross. Yeah, it's when like they're having Thanksgiving, and it's when Rachel makes a trifle with beef in it. And they're like kind of like revealing all these like secrets, and then I think it starts going around the table, and then Rachel's like, I wasn't supposed to put beef in the trifle, and Phoebe's like, I love Jack Cousteau, and stuff like that. I think that's the same episode. I might be getting mixed up with two things, but yeah, it's just like where they're kind of doing one-upmanship on where they're like revealing things about each other. Like Ross was the one that stole his dad's porno magazines, and Monica broke the porch swing and things like that. It's just very funny. And then last bit is your saddest moment, and I think this one, it's either like the last ever moment when they're like putting their keys on the counter and you're like, oh, this is it, it's over. That was really sad, and I think most people would say that's probably one of the saddest moments. But for me, I think it's one of the early series, and it's when Rachel finds out that Ross has slept with someone else, and they're like in the living room having this big blowout argument, and they're both like crying and kind of saying like, basically saying that it's over and that she can't trust him again, and it's just really sad. And it feels like, for a comedy show, it feels like it's a really raw, like emotional moment, and they both do a really good job of kind of getting like a very realistic interpretation of what it'd be like if you found out that someone that you love cheated on you. And yeah, I just remember at the time being like, oh, but you know, it's taken them so long to get together, and then they get together, and then this happens, and it was just really sad. So I remember genuinely feeling upset at that point. I think as well, I'm trying to remember, there was an episode where I would actually cry every time I watched it. I think it might be like Monica and Chandler's engagement. Like when she was, oh yeah, it is. It's when like she's proposing and then he takes over the proposal, and they're both crying. Because I'm sure I read somewhere that like genuinely the actors, you know, that they were properly crying, that they found it like really emotional. And I think watching it, it was a bit like, oh, it's quite emotional. I think that's the moment that I actually cried watching it. But the most emotional bit for me, I think, is the it's just the bit. Oh, also as well, think of other times that Friends has made me cry. I think I also cried like the first time I watched the episode, like the last ever episode, when Rachel came back and she'd got off the plane and she got like together with Ross again. Happy crying when I was watching that. It was like, oh, they've back together. It's so happy. I do remember I watched the last episode. The first time I watched it, I was really drunk as well. It was like after a night out at uni. And we went back to someone's house and they like downloaded it, and we sat and watched it at like 3 o'clock in the morning. But I can't remember all of the episode, or I couldn't remember all of the episodes, so I then like got a copy of it from them and watched it again sometime when I wasn't under the influence. So that's my Friends tag. I quite enjoyed filming that actually. I'm gonna, as I said, I'll write all the questions below, so if you want to do your own version of the tag, then please do, and leave me a link so that I can come and watch your one. I think for next year, because this one will go up, probably put this up before the new year, for 2015, I'm going to try and do more videos about like TV and film and stuff, because in real life that makes up probably about 75% of the conversations that I have with friends and workmates and stuff. We basically talk about TV shows that we're watching, films that we've watched, things that we're obsessed with. So I don't know why I've never really like taken that into my YouTube life. So I think I'm going to try and do more of that next year. I'm going to do like a video kind of talking about what I want to do next year and like my kind of goals for like my channel and stuff, which will be up at the start of the new year. And I'll talk a little bit more about, you know, why I want to start doing that. If you're a Friends fan, let me know if you disagree or agree with any of my answers. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye. Like, just so normal and funny, and just, she's just amazing. Like, I really can't stress enough how much I love the pair of them. And